Hello, my loves, my wonderful, amazing Taurus. Welcome back to Chemistry with Kismet Tarot. I'm Monica, and today we are diving into the current archetype that is in your phase of life where you're at right now. I have been kind of working through all the energies slowly over time as I'm still dealing with a lot of medical things going on. And one of the things that I have mentioned in some of the other readings is that when I originally started doing zodiac signs, I was looking at rising signs because I wanted to give you guys like a more specific area to be focused on. And as I came back to filming, I realized that we're looking too specifically. We need to kind of zoom out, look at the grander scale rather than the more narrow aspect of it. So this is for Taurus wherever it falls in your chart. And I encourage you to look to this energy as archetypal energy within your life right now. Rather than focusing on anything outside of yourself, this is about the inner world, the inner journey. Taurus, I have literally 2 pages of channeled messages for you guys, which I haven't done for quite a while. So how this reading works is I've got these archetype cards. We're using the Citadel deck, and you guys are the first sign that I got 2 archetypes. When these 2 archetypes came out, I hesitated because the intention was for a specific archetype to come out that is a theme. The archetype is not actually either one of these, but it's a combination of the 2, one of which is water energy. The other one is earth energy. This is divine feminine archetypal energy. So it's aspects of the divine feminine that are now coming together, 2 archetypes into one, coming into a union. But it's not a divine masculine, divine feminine union. It's 2 different aspects of your divine feminine energy that are finally coming into a harmonious meeting, greeting, integration time in your life. When I sit down to work through these energies, I have a tendency to note the month, the date, the year, and the time that I'm sitting down to work through the energies. I originally sat down on October 17th, but when I wrote it down, it was October 17th and it came out as 2021, and I had to stop myself and put it at 2024. And I heard a 3-year cycle. So since 2021, what has changed for you, Taurus? These 2 archetypes, these 2 into one, this union energy, that was all I got on the 17th. And so I sat down, and I'm filming this later in the morning on the 18th. I sat down October 18th, 2024 at 8:01 a.m. And I had just seen repetitive 8808, 8 o'clock, 8:08. So you may be seeing 8s in synchronicities. You may see them on license plates. You may see them on the clock. If that is the case, take that as a confirmation of the messages in this reading, if they resonate with you. With that, I got Leo energy with the Strength card, but I also got Justice energy with Libra energy, or the Justice card and Libra energy. And then I got the whole which came first, the chicken or the egg, but which came first, Strength or Justice? Because some tarot decks have the Justice card as the number 8 card and the Strength card as the number 11 card. And we can look back to history, but this is about your personal history. So you could do research into that if you feel called, but this is more about your personal history. It's subjective decisions for your empowerment or dismemberment. And dismemberment is a concept found in shamanism. in which your life kind of falls apart. You get dismembered in order to be rebuilt. It's very much tower energy in tarot. But this is asking you, the decisions that you make are entirely subjective. We can say that we're making an objective choice and decision, but in reality, everything that we do is subjective. Everything that we do comes from within and projects outward. So it was a lot of energy about the opposites, the duality. And then I got the word linguistics. So the language, how we speak, what we speak. Synchronicities, what is it that we see as synchronicities? What do you see as a repetitive pattern or as a sign or symbol? Synchronicities are only synchronicities because they mean something to us personally. We can say, okay, we've got angel numbers and we've got this and that and whatever. And there can be that collective information, but with that collective information, what we take from that and apply is entirely subjective. It depends on our individual internal world. This is about definitions and definitives. What is a definitive for you? What do you see as definitive? So the archetypes that we're working with, first, we have water energy with the masquerari. And it says hiding your true self and projection. And you've got somebody who's painting like a mask. What I got from this is about psychic phenomena and gifts. And I got a message that said, the time for emergence has come. Air to water brings hydrating breath to the body. And I thought that was really strange because what I got was this image of somebody underwater and they're breathing, not like a fish, but they're breathing through their mouth. And every bubble of water that goes into their mouth becomes oxygen in their body. And it was very strange, very cool, but very strange. And then I got this plus sign, and you can see it here. It's just a normal plus sign, but then I heard at the crossroads or in the crosshairs. And that I thought was really cool because your second archetype energy is the hunter here. And this is earth energy. And it says sure-footedness and predestination. But if you look, it's got a skull and a noose and this drop of blood. And it's this energy of things that are past and present while being predestined. And the message from that is, if it's already been predestined, why are you doubting your steps? Are you as sure-footed as the ram upon the mountain cliff? What do you need to be that sure-footed? What do you need right now, Taurus, to know definitively, this is my path, this is my purpose, this is my truth, this is my subjective reality, and it doesn't matter whether it's subjective because it is my reality and I'm choosing it. I am choosing this reality for myself. That is such an important factor in any point in life, is choice. We have that power. We have the power to choose. And when you use the word I choose, you empower yourself. Even if you're going through a dismemberment, even if your life is falling apart, you are as sure-footed in the destruction as you are in the creation of any given moment in time. On each side, we have the angel tarot and we have the demon tarot. These are intended to be like the angel and demon on your shoulders. The angel as your conscious influences, things that you're aware of as being influential to you at this moment in time. And then the demon as the unconscious influences, things that are going on in the shadow, things that are going on deeper inside of yourself that you may or may not be aware of. For you, Taurus, I feel as though it's starting to come to light, but not, it's like a tiny little pinprick of light in the darkness, but it doesn't span out. So we're going to look at the conscious influences first. And you have the death card, or Mamaya. And this is the 72nd angel out of 72 angels. It says, God, the end of the universe. But is there actually an end? Because with every end, there is a beginning. With every death, there is a rebirth. We don't always know what kind of rebirth it's going to be, but it influences health and longevity. This is about the length of your life. And I got this image. I just sat and it was infinities, chained infinitely, with one in the middle, above and below. And it says, all things meet in the middle. What goes up comes down. What goes in comes out. Time ticks, but not away. It expands as you contract, and it contracts so that you may expand. This is what's in your conscious influence. You know, as above, so below, as within, so without. These are common concepts. And so as things fall apart, as things come to a natural end, or even if it seems like an unnatural end, you know there's always going to be something that comes again. There is a rebirth. With every death, there is new life. This is about you noticing, recognizing that as you bring that true self out instead of hiding it, as you move forward with this sure-footedness, this, I know myself now. I know my path. I know where I'm going, and I know what I'm meant to do. Even if I don't know the finer details of it, I still know that I'm meant to do this. I'm meant to do this. I'm meant to do that. And you move forward in your life every step, just like that mountain ram on the side. And if you guys have ever been in the mountains and seen like a mountain goat or a ram on the side of a mountain, it's insane. They are literally like on sheer edge cliffs, and you can't figure out how they got there, but they got there. They don't fall. They just have that absolution of this is where I'm at. This is where I'm supposed to be. And yes, I could fall, but I may not fall. I have the sure-footedness to know what next step to take, even if the journey is treacherous. So I shall take, I will take, I choose to take that next step. I choose to face what may look treacherous because I know I'm strong enough. I know I'm brave enough, and I know I'm capable enough. And that is such a powerful place for your conscious influences to be during this time, because an integration of these things where you're stepping into your power, you're stepping into this, everything can fall apart around me, but I will build from that. I will build from the ashes. I will put it together and I will create something new. That is a powerful, empowered place to be in. The unconscious influences, we have Melcom. Melcom is not seen as, it says it's not one of the titled members of the infernal monarchy. So this isn't somebody who's super high up, super high ranked. It's a servant of checks and balances. Is everything paid in equality, or is there a lean to one or the other? And Melcom on the card, it says he holds a civic position, the paymaster to the servants of hell. He counts the gold and holds the purse. This is about equality and balance, checks and balances. And sometimes we can hold a tally sheet in our brain. Well, this person did this, and this person did this, and this person did this. And while that is okay to do in retrospect, in introspection, we also have to realize, I also did this, and I did this, and I did this. And when we step into that level of accountability, now we're moving into this influence here. So in the unconscious, what that pinprick of light that I was shown is you coming into this awareness that, yes, other people are doing this. There are projections here, but am I being my truest self, or am I hiding it away? And as you recognize that the projections that are being put on you also have an active role in your life because you're hiding your true self, and you bring that true self out, you move into that hunter, that predestined sure-footedness. So in this unconscious influence that's coming forward now of that balance, you're learning how to check yourself first before you do something. And then I got this message for you directly, Taurus. It says, learn from nature. The earth gives and it takes. It says, we call it destruction or natural disasters, but she's the ultimate balancer. When all human life ceases, nature lives on. The time to remember your connection to the greater, to the mother, to nature, and to your essence has come. Soften, receive, live, love, and believe. I will be right back, guys. All right, Taurus, I apologize for that. I had to step away and take a phone call from my doctor's office. With that message, this reminder about coming back to nature. I got the song "Build Me Up, Buttercup Baby," and it continues on. It says, "Build me up, Buttercup Baby, just to let me down and mess me around, and then worst of all," and then it cuts out. And every time I tap into that energy, it stops, because worst of all comes back to subjective. Worst of all, we could always go worst of all. It's in our nature to go to the worst. It's in our nature to go to the best. It's in our nature to choose which direction we go. And we don't realize that it's in our nature because we are conditioned one way or the other throughout our life. This time frame for you, this archetypal phase for you, it is the biggest blessing that I can feel if you choose to see it that way. It's this, I don't have to continue taking on the projections of others. I don't have to hide who I truly am. I can be me. I can be all of me. I can breathe underwater. I can survive the worst climbs, and I can have absolute certainty that every step that I take on the edge of a mountain, I will not fall, because I am destined to do this, to climb, to face the treachery, to face the fear, and to move through it. Because there's always a balance. There's always checks and balances, and nature always finds a way. And Taurus, you are one of the most grounded signs there is. You know that nature finds a way. You know what sacrifice is. From the blood of the bull springs life. That is centuries old. From your very blood comes life. So what we're going to do here is we're going to get some tarot for what you don't see about the current archetypal phase, what's challenging you about it, where you can find help, how you can connect better with your inner self. Sorry if the camera is a little bit shaky. My camera arm is not the most stable, and I am very shaky myself with what's going on with my health right now. We're going to connect with your higher self and connect with your shadow. And then we have these 3 cards over here that have already been pulled so the energy could settle. I'm not going to be divining these cards. We've got a sacred symbol, a question card, and we have an oracle card from the House of Night oracle deck. These are cards for you to dive into on your own if you feel called to it, how you feel called to it, when you feel called to it. So let's get your guys' tarot. Get one for what you don't see about the current archetypal phase. What challenges you, where help can be found, connecting with your higher self, and connecting with your shadow. It's interesting because they were stuck together, so we're going to see how that goes. All right, so what don't you see about this? The Four of Candles. We have the card of perfection, and this is Venus in Aries. No, yep, Venus in Aries. No, Mercury in Aries. Okay. I think it's Venus. Regardless, I'm trying to see the symbol up there, but perfection. What does perfection mean to you? Aries is the sign that comes directly before Taurus. It's the precursor energy. So if we're working with this energy of perfection, it's asking us to see ourselves as perfect, as how we are, who we are. We can get stuck in the mentality of perfection mode. I am no stranger to that. I actually, what I call it is like spiritual exposure therapy, where I push myself, or the universe will like literally push me out of the bird's nest and say, okay, you're going to face this whether you like it or not, because we're going to bring it to you. We're going to put it right in front of your face, and you're going to have to face it. One of the first things that I had to do was face my perfectionism, that desire for everything to be exactly as is. So Taurus, I'm going to divulge a little bit of personal information with you guys. I am currently going through a medical crisis. We are working on getting me down to specialists in another city. It's looks very serious. I'm going to leave it at that. But with what's going on, I'm having issues with my heart, and I tire very easily, very quickly. But I like my house to be clean, and I like to have a specific type of energy in my environment while I'm filming. That energy involves, vacuuming my carpets from all the dog hair, or cleaning up the countertops. I did not truly realize how exhausting, how much work it is to vacuum, to push a vacuum around. I know that after abdominal surgeries, they tell you not to do it, but I never really thought about it. I vacuumed last night because I wanted to film last night for you guys. And I finished vacuuming it. It took me maybe a half hour to do my entire top floor. And when I was done, I was so incredibly exhausted that I had to go and sit in bed and rest. And that rest took hours for me to be able to get up and start moving again. And I'm not used to that. I'm not used to that. And I had a conversation with my mother-in-law today, and we talked about this. She said, you don't have to be the perfect housewife. I said, I know, but I like my house clean. She's like, well, then ask the kids for help. Ask your husband for help. There are other people who can help. It doesn't have to be perfect. And that's the thing, is sometimes we think that things have to be exactly this way or exactly that way. And this archetypal phase is asking you to challenge the concept of what perfection is. What is the backbone of perfection for you? Is perfection being seen in a specific light? Or is perfection really just you being your truest self out in the world, flaws and all, and saying, you know what, I am perfectly imperfect, and that's okay with me? That challenge, that viewpoint of perfection, it depends on each one of us. That's what you're not quite seeing yet, is you are already perfect. Everything is already perfect. It's perfectly aligned. It's perfectly in order. It's perfectly as is, what it is meant to be. Even if you are looking at a complete mess, if you guys check in on, say, Libra's reading, my husband and I just ordered new furniture for our bedroom, and we were in the middle of building our bed set in the living room. There's a leaf on the floor over here and a leaf over here, because my dogs are coming in and out, and it's fall where I'm at. But I still sat here and I filmed. And I did that because the energy was right and the messages were ready. So I could look at the background information or the background view and say, is it perfect or not? And I could have cleaned it up. It would have been really exhausting and I wouldn't have filmed for them that day. So I said, okay, it is what it's meant to be. Perfect for that moment in time. And this is just an example that I can use from my life. What is it in your life? So let's take a look at a challenge. I know I was calling this a challenge. So to me, that says that this perfection is the original challenge. It's the precursor challenge. So this is where you're coming from, that spiritual exposure therapy that pushes you into doing things that you're uncomfortable with so that you challenge the thought inside that it has to be this way or that way, that checks and balances. It has to be one or the other. So the challenge here, the 7 of Pentacles, and it says failure. And we have Saturn in Taurus. So this is about cause and effect. And we have the necklace here, and it says, caution, do not touch, cursed, has claimed the lives of 19 muggle owners to date. Now, this is a cursed necklace that actually ends up cursing one of the characters in Harry Potter. We can put that proverbial noose around our neck because we want to be seen a specific way. So the challenge is, what is perfection and what is failure? What do you view as failure? The 7 of Pentacles is a card about patience, slow, steady progress. You sit and you wait and you wait. Saturn is about cause and effect. People call it karma, call it what you want. It is simply cause and effect. This happens, and this is the effect of that. I took this action, now this is an effect. So we have this energy of moving into this fire, this I'm going to do it this way and it's going to be exactly right. And then we can have this dismemberment, this falling apart of everything. Does that necessarily mean that it was a failure? I have my own subjective views on that. My subjective view is there's no such thing as failure. But with that subjective view, I also understand that with my perfectionist tendencies, I see a lot of things that I do as failures. I work through that energy on a regular basis. This comes back again to definitions, definitives. What is your definitive success versus failure? The challenge here is, can you be patient enough through the things that appear to be a failure, that appear to be cursed? Can you be patient enough for it to turn? Or will this be the noose around the neck of your true self coming forward? Everything takes the time that it takes, and that's really, really hard to accept at times. It's really hard to accept. I'm a person that is like, I see this, I want action immediately. And waiting is very difficult for me because I know that there are times in life where things are at stake. There's high stakes, high risk, high gamble, which means that the failure is high. But it also means the reward is high. And it depends on each one of us how we view it. So where can you find help through all of this? Inside. The hermit. Snape, the man who held love in his heart his whole life, who could never let go, and who, upon the greatest loss of love in his life, set out to be absolutely certain that justice was served. What comes first, strength or justice? With Snape, strength had to come first. He had to find the strength and the will to keep moving through his life. Sometimes we don't think that we can. I know me. I've been in that place. I've said more times than I can count, I don't know how to keep going. And now I'm facing one of the greatest battles of my life. And it's the only thing that I can think is I have to keep going. I have to keep going. I did not come into this world and I do not have the gifts that I have. And I do not have this call to help, to heal, to be of service for spirit, for the collective. I do not have that within me for no reason. So there is very little in this life that will take me out until it is absolutely time, and spirit is the one that decides that. And until then, I put my faith in the strength that I have. And that is what you can find within yourself to help. You are your own help, but there are also times where you need to learn that it's okay to ask for help. We all have to learn that every once in a while in our lives, and it's hard. It's hard, but we can. We can choose that. Your help can be found by going within. And when I say going within, it can be a hard thing. Like, how do I do that? Honestly, guys, I don't know. I journal a lot. Sometimes I use tarot cards. Sometimes I use just random things like the word of the day on an Alexa or the animal of the day on Alexa so that I can have some sort of prompting. And then I ask myself, what does this have to do with where I'm at, who I am, and what is going on in my life? And we go from there. And sometimes just shit happens and we have no choice but to sit in it, to sit in the fear of, oh my God, this is all occurring right now and it is all happening and it's real. And it doesn't feel like it should be, but it is. So the help is inside yourself. It's that strength, that light inside yourself, that ability to love within yourself, that shining forth makes all the difference as you go through this transitory period. Connecting with your higher self, we have temperance. We have letting go, moving forward, alchemizing, creating, making something new. Fred and George here. Fred didn't survive through the final battle in Harry Potter, and yet George kept going. He kept moving forward in his life. How do you move forward when you lose your other half? You just do. You just keep going. And with temperance, this is Sagittarius energy. Sagittarius with that flexible flow of fire. That flexible flow that says, I don't need to be perfect. I just need to be passionate, to be alive, to love and to live and to be everything I can be at any given moment in time and bring laughter into it because laughter is utterly healing. Laugh with yourself. See that your higher self is your other half. Let yourself experiment with things that are fun, that are enjoyable, that fill you up, that build you up, Buttercup baby. All right, let's see how you can connect with your shadow. We have the 9 of Cups with joy and the Princess of Discs. Jupiter in Pisces. And I don't know. Is this another Taurus card? Excuse me. The House Cup. The House Cup is all about doing the work, earning the points, but it's about playing the game. The Princess of Discs. I love this because it's Luna. And she's standing here with a baby thestral. Oh, over here. Sorry, guys. With this baby thestral. And she's learned how to see this creature that people think is a dark omen, is evil, is bad. This thing that you can only see when you have been privy to death in front of yourself, in front of your eyes, where you have witnessed death. She has learned how to love them and see their beauty. And people call Luna weird. And she is. But she finds herself perfect. People bully her, but she doesn't care. Or she does, but she allows herself to find joy. And I think too, in the 7th book of Harry Potter, in the Deathly Hallows, when Harry, Ron, and Hermione are visiting Xenophilius Lovegood, Luna's father, they go into her room and they see their faces on her wall and this beautiful script that says friends. And they realize how important they are to her and how they haven't always seen her in that same way. But the power of friendship and the power of camaraderie and the power of connection in that moment helps them to realize what a blessing this little girl is. This girl, this energy. The Princess of Discs, she knows the wonder of the world. And she's willing to do the work, and she's willing to wait, and she's willing to put herself out there. Taurus, this is about your inner child, divine feminine, now coming out and saying, I don't want to hide who I truly am. I'm going to stay off the nargles. I'm going to eat the dirigible plums. I'm going to be my weird, kooky self because I'm certain of who I am. Because I'm certain that being my truest self means that I am able to receive all the love and support of this world and the next, and the next, and the next. Because I see myself as worthy, because I am worthy, because I was born worthy simply because I am perfectly me. I'm absolutely certain of who I am. So let's give you guys your reflection stuff and let you guys go for the day. All right, we've got nature spirits here. Speak with, sit with, commune with. Nature is all around you. Nature is within you. Focus, card 17. 1017. I couldn't tap the energy. I could have had I made a different choice, but the choice that I made to set the energy in the surrounding environment meant that my focus was off. So this is about where you focus, how you focus, and the nature of. Very Sagittarian energy too. Why? Why ask why? Come on. There we go. Why ask why? That is incredibly profound of a question. 3 words, but incredibly profound. Why ask why? All right, Taurus, this is your message about your archetype, your muse, your life, your faith. I pray that it brought you clarity, peace, confirmation, and helped open a few doors inside of yourself to yourself. I want to take this time to say thank you for being here. Thank you to your guides, my guides, and the Great Spirit. Thank you to the cosmic energies, the ancestors, and to all those out there who need this message. Thank you for their existence. Taurus. I love you guys. I will see you at my next reading. Bye.